What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Burke, aka Danzweight here, and welcome to this very special playthrough of Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake. First off, massive thank you to Square Enix for sending me a review code for this game. They have supported me over the years throughout my Final Fantasy adventures, and now that a new chapter is beginning in my gaming career / YouTube channel, I am very grateful that they are supporting me once again and sending me a copy of the game. So yes, for anyone who's never watched a Danzgo8 video before, you search for the game and you somehow found yourself here, welcome to the channel. I am known best for my Final Fantasy content, and I am a Final Fantasy enthusiast with thousands of hours of content on the game on the channel. I began a mission in 2014 to try and play through all of the single-player numbered titles, from 1 all the way through to 16 now, and I literally completed that a few weeks ago. And so it was perfect timing that Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake, was coming out now. And so basically my plan was always on the channel, once I was done with my Final Fantasy mission, to start to prioritize other JRPG titles and franchises that I'd been missing out on along the way. And Dragon Quest is of course one of the most iconic ones in the genre. So this is a fantastic opportunity for me to jump into something new. I've been excited about this. The HD 2D remake aspect also interests me greatly, because I feel like this is an avenue that Final Fantasy can go down as well with some of its older titles. So I'm really curious to see how they've kind of made it work, and to see how this game ultimately reviews, both among the critics and among the fans. And if they've done a really good job with this, which I'm hoping that they have, then it might set a bit more of a precedent for some of the JRPG titles that we know and love from the late 80s and early to mid 90s, making a return in this kind of form. So I'm very excited to get started with this one. I'm going to fire up the game, and we will talk more about things as we actually start to play through for the first time. So this is a blind playthrough. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest III. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest in general. I've not looked up anything about it. We're just going to jump in and see how a lifelong Final Fantasy fan will experience Dragon Quest for the first time. Let's go. Just to get the formalities out of the way, if you are excited, you're looking forward to this, even if you're curious about this, whatever the case may be, please drop a like on this first video and help the series get off to a flying start as we see a phoenix-looking bird. Already love it because it says venture forth instead of start. Like, that is a spirit of adventure right there. As this is a review copy, the game actually comes out in 2 days, and so you can see it's version 1.0.0.0. Hopefully there's no legitimate issues. I'm hoping that the game is well optimized and will run very well with no issues, but if you see anything in this first part, there is a chance it might be because it's literally the absolute base version of the game. So let's get started and venture forth. So I ran a very mini test, literally like the first screen of the game, just to make sure it literally launched and was working. Let's have a look at a few of the things here. So for text language, we have all of these options here. I think that's a pretty generous selection. We are, of course, going to go with English. And for the voice, I am going to go with English. So yeah, there are voiced segments of this game. And so that's something I'm also looking forward to. It's less work for me as a content creator. Less chance of me having to like read over lines, especially in more dramatic scenes, and screwing them up, because a voice actor I am not, and those are very difficult to work with, especially on a blind playthrough where you don't know what line is coming and you have to instantly kind of read it, try to judge the tone of it and the accent of it and all that stuff, and deliver it instantly with no practice. And trying to do multiple retakes takes a lot of time in editing and can mess up the flow. The more voice acting, the better. So let us venture forth and see what awaits us in my first ever Dragon Quest adventure. Okay, so the first thing here is to decide upon a name. This already stresses me out, because I don't play a lot of games where you have to actually select the character's name. I don't play that many RPG style games anyway, where you get to name the character. And so I'm like, if I have to stick with this name for an entire playthrough, if you pick something bad, like that can be bad. So I don't want to name him like Danzgo8, because if it's like present constantly in the story, that's just going to be really immersion breaking. Like, I thought you loved me, Danzgo8. It's just, no. So I'm going to try to go for a name that works. What I don't want to do is put a Final Fantasy name, because of course the main thing here is that I need to do my best to try and treat this as a different game. Yes, it came out in a similar era. Yes, it's a JRPG. There's going to be a decent chunk of crossover. It's a turn-based game, adventure game, all of that kind of stuff. But it is its own thing. It's going to have its own vision. I need to not think I'm playing a Final Fantasy game. So if I name the character Final Fantasy 1, I feel like that's going to not help with that. So I have to try and not use any Final Fantasy names here for my own brain. And so I think where I might go here, I don't want to use my own name. I've kind of never really liked to do that. And I think because it's a Turkish name, like the name Burk, I feel like it just doesn't work as great with this type of stuff. Like if I maybe had a more traditional Western name or a Japanese name or something, I think that would have been better. But I don't like using my own name. What I'm going to do, I'm going to name my character Wonder. And the reason for that is because I'm participating in a D&D campaign for like the last couple of years or so, and the character that I have in that is like a wandering nomadic character who I named Wonder for the story. And I feel like this is another, of course, like adventure game, which probably has a little bit of D&D influence as well, given the era that it came out in. And so I think Wonder might be a good protagonist name. And I think it's the name of the protagonist in Shadow of the Colossus. So yeah, we're going to go with Wonder, and we'll see how we fare. How do you want your character to look? I'm just going to go appearance A. Keep it simple. Are you happy with your choice? You would play as a hero with appearance A and a heroine with appearance B. What language do you want the character to speak in? English? Do you want to display the location of your current objective on the map? This one, I'm going to say no, because I feel like surely this one is going to be one of those where part of how you know where to go is by like paying attention to the game, speaking to NPCs. I feel like that's part of the experience, and by default they've put you on the no, so I'm going to keep it there. Please select difficulty mode. Right, for people who have been viewing the channel, they will know that I always err on the side of difficulty when it comes to these types of games. But I've never played a Dragon Quest. The mechanics could be quite different, and I don't want to be too cocky and just go for like the hard difficulty. But since we can switch, I'll start with the default one. If I'm getting quite deep into the game and like I've had no game overs, it's feeling relatively easy, we can try and bump up and see how things change. But I'm treating myself as a total novice here, even though I have a lot of Final Fantasy experience. And we're going to stick with this one for that reason. Okay, let's go. We have autosave. And we're rolling.
If you can hear me, follow the sound of my voice. Yes, come this way.
Alright. I think we're already going to start moving here. If you fancy going faster, try holding down circle while walking to pick up the pace. Alright. Damn, that was quick. No big intro here. We already have control. That's cool. But yeah, look at this art style. This is really nice. This is my first experience playing like a HD 2D remake style game. And I'm digging it, man. Like the environments look really rich and luscious, but the character having like that old school sprite style look. It's really nice, man. This is cool. The music already sounds nice too. I have no doubt that, again, the music is going to be iconic. I'm very much looking forward to this. Okay. Let's just make a move. Love those old school sounds. Wonder. Wonder. Can you hear me? Wonder. I am she who watches over all. One day, not long from now, you will appear before me, a true hero. But before your journey can begin, you must teach me something. Teach me what manner of person you are. You must answer my questions as honestly as you are able to. Are you ready to begin? Okay, I'm already going to have a character judgment within the first thing. Great game to be shown publicly with thousands of people. Okay, time for some character judgment questions. Let's go. First, you must tell me your true name. I'm hoping this isn't the name that ends up being used in the game. I think this is only for this godlike entity to know. So I'm going to put my real name in here. For anyone wondering, my name is Turkish. Both my parents are Turkish, that's why it's like that. It's pronounced Berk, that's the real way to pronounce it, but Western people and like basically anyone who's not Turkish can't pronounce it properly. So I just call myself Berk. The month of your birth, August. Yeah, giving away all the personal information here. August the 11th. I am indeed a Leo. Shout out to all my Leos. Your sign is a one known in your world as Leo. This is correct. It is indeed. Very good, Wanda. I will now ask you a series of questions. Do not dwell upon them too deeply. Answer swiftly and from the heart. Oh boy. This playthrough is over. This game is too invasive, it's too personal. I'm not proceeding. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Oh boy. Do so, and I will come to know your true mind. Now, let us begin. Here we go. Do you believe that victory can be won on the field of battle? Yes. Do you prefer spells and sorcery to swords and sweat? In this type of experience, I'd say yes. Do you often wonder how magical it might be to soar unaided through the skies? I think if you live in London and you have to use TFL, your answer to this is probably, it's especially yes. Do you envy the freedom of the birds? A little bit, yeah. If you could be reborn, would it be as a prince or a princess? No. I think I don't like being born into that type of thing. I don't think that would be as fun. Do you find yourself unable to refuse the requests of others? If I was making this playthrough like 2016, 17 or something, I would have said yes immediately. But I think I've gotten better at being able to say no as I get older, and I think that's probably part of maturing a little bit, knowing when to say no. So I'm going to say no to that. Are you able to prevent failure from preying upon your mind? I think so. Otherwise, you probably couldn't be in this line of work. I think I'm not too bad at doing that. Do you find yourself unable to argue with others, even if you disagree with them strongly? Personal life with people I care about, I do argue with them, because I feel like it's important, that type of communication sometimes, but with like more like friends, like not as close friends, acquaintances on the internet, the answer is no. So I'm a bit torn on this one. I think it's asking you to answer from the heart, so I'm going to say no. I do try to sometimes argue if necessary to get a point across or hash things out with people I care about. Do you enjoy physical pursuits? Yes. Can even the most minor of matters irritate you? I think everyone should answer yes to this question. If we're being truly honest and from the heart here. In the moment, I think we can all get irritated by minor silly things, and then we kind of realize it was pointless later on. So I think it's a little bit dishonest to say no. I think we all get irritated by small stuff. The most minor, maybe not, but I'm just going to say yes here. When inspiration strikes, are you likely to spring into action straight away? I think so. Do you have the self-belief to trust that you're in the right no matter what may come? I think, again, given the line of work, like the life path I chose to pursue, against sometimes better advice or like risk and stuff, I would say I must have had some level of self-belief to do that, so yeah. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I feel that I know you a little better now. Now, let us move on to the final test of your character. Oh boy. I'm digging these environments, man. They look really nice. This, like, whole style, I think, for me, like, first impression, it's working. I like it. Originally, I wanted the game on Steam, so that I could play it on Steam Deck as well if I wanted to, but I was sent a PS5 code. It's all good. If I was on Steam, I was planning on playing it just on my PC monitor, which is much smaller, but on PS5, it's hooked up to my big TV. And honestly, like, it looks good, like, on the big TV. I thought, especially, like, given that even if it's HD 2D, it's probably not worth the big TV experience, but, like, it looks good, man. I do advise anyone who can play it on a bigger screen, it does seem worth it to do so. Right, what do we have here? Okay, so I think what I would do, I was waiting to hear if there was any voice acting. As I mentioned before, when there's no voice acting, it gets very difficult, and trying to do like accents and like tone and that kind of thing is tough. I find it easiest, and it takes me the least amount of retakes and like rereads, and I'm less likely to just get things wrong if I just use my normal voice and just read things quite normally. So it's going to be a bit more of a narrative style, but now and then I think if I spot something I think I can do on the fly, then I would try to do it. But like the whole, you're going to have to go on without me, trying to do that naturally, like with an accent, without knowing what the line is, it's just too hard for me to do. Like, based on my previous experiences of non-voice acted games, I think it's better that I just try to read it straight up, to keep things flowing as best as possible. Alright. It's no good, Dickie. I'm done for. You're gonna have to go on without me. Bruv! Bruv! No whining, you hear? Just... shut up and listen. The edge of this desert is 3 days' walk north of here, right? And we've got a day's worth of water, so if you lead off on your own, there's a chance you might just make it. But, bruv, if you do that, I'll have to... and you'll... Didn't you hear me? If we both go, we'll only have a day's worth of water. We'll never make it back to town. There ain't no point in the both of us dying of thirst out there, and I'm on me last bleeding legs as it is. But, bruv! Right, grab hold of this here canteen and get walking. Go on. Clear off. Bruv! That scene was particularly funny to me because of the way he said bruv. That's something that my sister and I do. In Turkey, at least, you don't call your older sibling by their name. You tend to call them basically brother. But we have a word for it that implies they're your older brother. She got used to calling me brother, and then when we were like teenagers, it became much more informal and slang, and she started calling me bruv/bruvy. And so, like, seeing bruv was pretty funny on there, I do have to say. It's out cold. Where? What am I gonna do? Eh? Who the heck are you? Did you hear all that? Did you? You did, eh? Can't be helped, I suppose. Here, can I ask you something? What the heck should I do? Do you really think I should go off with that canteen and just leave me, bruv, lying there in the sand? I'm inclined to say no. They still have a day's worth of water, and maybe that extra day in the desert gives them both a chance to find something, to bump into someone, to survive. So, I think they have a shot. I'm the optimist here. He's not dead yet, so I'd feel bad just leaving him there to die, and maybe you could walk half a day or a full day and find something and then just regret your decision, live with that for the rest of your life. I'm gonna say no. Blimey. So you reckon I should just put him over my shoulders and try to make it to town, is it? We ain't got enough water to get us anywhere near, but you still think that's the best idea? Well, I don't think there's a great option either way here. Plot twist, they both die because I made this decision. But I'm generally an optimist, glass half full type person most of the time. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna believe that they're gonna find something along the way. And he says there's a day, but like the will to live maybe will hang on for 2, and maybe in 2 days they'll find something. Can't just leave them there, man. It's your bruv. Can't do that. Really? Yeah. Maybe you're right. But I don't know if I can. Oh. Bruv! So that was our final big character test. Let's see what the great one surmises from that. I am she who watches over all, and I have seen what manner of person you are. Wonder, you are something of an idealist. You are gifted with a strong sense of justice, and an even stronger sense of purpose. You are also kind to others. I would like to be able to tell you that these qualities endear you to those around you. But sadly, this is not the case. And why might this be? You may not believe the answer. It is because, deep down, they are not as strong as you. Their hearts are weak. And so, being with you, being in the presence of such strength, it frustrates and upsets them. Perhaps if you learn to show your more vulnerable side, people will come to enjoy your company more. But then, your strength of character is no bad thing. Perhaps it is others, not you, who must change. This is your spirit, your soul, the essence of your character. Now, my child, very soon the dawn will break, and you will rise to greet the new day. I am she who watches over all, and I look forward to the time when you and I come face to face at last. There we go. It's judged immediately. Our story begins on the morning of Wanda's 16th birthday.
Oh.
Is there no, like, auto text here? Can't it wait until he's a little bit older? It pains me to say that we have had no word from Ortega since he left for the volcano.
Well, no time like the present.
I know. I'll go and wake them now.
Definitely getting some Link vibes from that shield and sword.
Cooey! Wakey, wakey! Rise and shine! Morning, my darling. It's time to get up. Today's a very important day. After all, it's not every morning you ask the king himself to give your big journey his personal blessing. This is what I've been raising you for all these years. Well then, shall we get going? Come on, follow me.
Nice, suited up. Cool. I'm kind of curious that there's absolutely no sound. Is that normal? Let me... Oh, what? That's interesting. Look at that. It's a seed of strength. Wanda puts the seed of strength into the item bag. Nice. So the way that it like describes what he's done there and stuff definitely feels a bit D&D. That's cool. But yeah, I'm just surprised there's no music. Is there like a config menu? I just want to have a look at a few things. System settings, battle speed, normal, display. Audio. Everything seems fine. Autoplay cutscenes. I think I might autoplay cutscenes. Choose whether to advance action manually or automatically. I think I prefer on. I don't like hearing like the tick-tick kind of thing. I think that's better for me. Helpful settings. Yeah, we'll keep that. Okay. I think that should be fine for now. I guess there's just not supposed to be any music at the moment. Very silent. But there we go. At least for these important scenes, you seem to have voice acting. So that's cool. There you go. It's back. These environments look great.
Come on, dear. You know where the castle is. Straight on now. Off you go. And remember to mind your manners. I won't have the king thinking you've been dragged up.
Okay, yeah, I've kind of already jumped the gun there. Right, so we have a mini-map on the top right. That's cool. Items, equipment, recall. That's interesting. Okay. So I guess it helps with sometimes like progress and that kind of thing. Now we have HP and we have MP, so that's very familiar. Okay. Yeah, again, these seem fairly intuitive for someone with my experience set, let's call it. A nifty nut that permanently increases strength by a little. Nice. I'm gonna take that. Can I just have it now? Maybe I should just leave it for a sec. Continental map. What does my stats look like? So spells. 3 pages worth potentially. Abilities. Status. Okay, attack 25, defense 31. But we have, okay, so we have more detailed stats here. Let's see what they have in this game. So wisdom again, a bit more of a D&D stat. That's cool. Cool. Personality idealists. I'm very curious. I guess, again, that must be a bit of a distribution thing here, no? Like stat distribution depends a bit on that, or like your growth, maybe. We'll see. Okay, let's continue. Can I just like ignore this? Alright, fine. Have you changed your mind about going to meet the king now? Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that auto-skipping means that I can't read the scenes, like the non-cutscene ones. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, these environments are just so, like, vibrant. Welcome to Eliahan Castle. The throne room is just up the stairs there. So, before that, can I... Got to do a bit of this, right? And it's nice that they have a little padlock. I think that's a little padlock. Yeah, that's nice. So it's kind of good to know in advance which doors are locked. That rascal Kirk Buzzer, who was robbing houses all over town, has finally got his just desserts. He's banged up in jail. Ha ha ha. So definitely going to do a lot of this whenever I enter a new environment. Just kind of walking around, trying to talk to people. Especially the old guys with staffs, they tend to have interesting dialogue. I hear that wily thief Kirk Buzzer came up with a key that could open any normal lock in existence. Nice. Why, with one of those in your pocket, you could come and go through the doorways of the world as you pleased. Already, that's good to know. And while this kind of thing is nice, it's a nice way to see how the game like distributes its items, like this pot, for example. Wonder peeks inside the pot. Look at that, it's a medicinal herb. There you go. So at least now you know to look for that type of thing when you're exploring around. That's cool. Alright, for now at least, I think that's probably it. For this side. Keep going. Room full of chests. Excellent. Again, all like pretty familiar stuff for people who've played some early Final Fantasy. And yes, there's just no way that I can play through this game without referencing Final Fantasy a lot. Reference versus comparison is different. I'm going to try my best to not compare it too much. Or say like, oh, this was better in Final Fantasy, or I prefer the way Final Fantasy handled this, or Dragon Quest does this better than Final Fantasy. I'm going to try to obviously treat them as their own separate visions and entities, but in terms of saying things like, oh, I'm familiar with this from Final Fantasy or whatever, that's just going to happen. You're going to have to deal with it. Have you seen the princess? Princess! Princess! I think before I continue the exploration, I do want to speak to the king and set things up a bit, and then we can explore more afterwards. I've got a little taste of it, but let's continue first.
Well met, child of Ortega.
Now that's a kingly voice right there.
We could not locate any of Ortega's belongings. I see. To think something out there is capable of besting a man of his caliber.
My husband thought long and hard before setting off. I'm sure he was at peace when he passed.
He ain't dead.
Doubtless your mother has recounted the tale of your father's final moments many times. When he fell into the maw of that accursed volcano, the world lost a great man. However, we wholeheartedly approve of your wish to follow in his footsteps and set forth on the path of adventure, for it is what he would have wanted. And only the child of such a hero as he could hope to save our world. The foe we face is dire indeed, the archfiend Baramos. Many of the peoples of this world do not yet even know his name. And yet, his grip on our realm grows ever tighter. He must be stopped. No matter the cost, you must free us from the Archfiend's ever-encroaching tyranny. But alone, you will only meet the same fate as your father. Go and consult with Mistress Patty in town, and use this to outfit the companions she has selected for you.
Wanda receives 50 gold coins and some basic equipment and puts them in the bag.
Allow me to proffer some guidance. You would be wise to seek out the thief's key, an implement that can open a myriad of the world's doors. Obtain it, and your travels will be that bit easier. But first, I suggest you heed His Majesty's advice and seek like-minded individuals at Patty's party planning place. Once you have done so, try making your way to Reeve, a quaint village to the northwest of our fair kingdom. You will now find Reeve marked on your map. Locating the rest of the realm's noteworthy areas, however, is a task I believe best left in your capable hands. You simply need note down anywhere you happen to visit. Be sure to see these places with your own eyes first, though. Otherwise, you'll likely forget to mark them on your map. And remember, your curiosity is an asset most valuable. Lend it an ear at all times, and you will surely benefit. However, remain wary, lest it lead you into trouble on occasion.
We expect great things of you.
Cast your mind back. At any time during a conversation or immediately after it's ended, you can commit what you heard to memory by pressing. That's a really nice mechanic, I like that. The fact that you can do it after it's ended, because I don't want to like interrupt during it. Anything you've chosen to keep in mind can be revisited by selecting recall in the main menu. Okay. Traveler's Tips, a curated collection of useful information, can be found in the miscellaneous menu. Be sure to give it a look if you need help with controls or aren't quite sure how to get on with your adventure. More tips will be added as you progress, so make a point of checking for new tidbits from time to time. Alright. So did he commit that to memory? I pressed the start button. Okay, good. Yeah, so I mean, that was a pretty nice breakdown. Obviously, he's got quite the legacy to live up to. But the quest already seems quite interesting. We'll see how that's going to work out. It is far too dangerous out in the wild to travel alone. You must visit Patty's party planning place. Say that 10 times fast. In the west of town and recruit some companions. Yeah, so we're going to have companions. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Always one of my favorite aspects of these types of games. The squad. I bid you go forth and eliminate Baramos. Perhaps you would wish to know more of the vile fiend before you slay him. The Archfiend is thought to have unleashed the litany of monsters that currently vex our realm so. He is their leader, as it were. I know not what foul form he assumes, for no human has ever laid eyes upon him and lived to tell of the horror, let alone returned with a word of his whereabouts. His name is only known to us due to monsters being wont to scream it whilst in their death throes. I truly hope you're able to find Baramos and free us from his terror at long last. Godspeed, Wonder. Alright, there we go. The stage is already set. So we need to gather a team, we need to outfit them, and we need the thief key. Cool. This map, does it like expand? It says it's been marked on my map. I need to have a look here. So you can see it like this. Okay, fair enough. Nice. Okay, so once again, it's going to be back to exploring more of the castle. In this first episode, obviously, we're not going to make a huge amount of progress in terms of story. We're just kind of setting everything up here. And we'll see how things go. But my first impressions are pretty solid. I would say maybe when you have like the auto line skipping, I feel like sometimes the spacing between the lines is too tight. I feel like he says like something that needs like a bit of a half pause, but he goes straight into the next line when it's auto. Like I would have done it slower if it were me. So sometimes maybe the pacing, but it's kind of pick your poison, because otherwise you have to constantly be on the ball and keep pressing X at the right time. Otherwise the conversation doesn't flow, and then you have the constant kind of SFX of you pressing X as well. So I don't know, either way kind of seems a bit not perfect, let's say. Oh please, brave hero, bring peace back to our world. You're our only hope. Let's see this guy. Oh, head west from the castle and follow the sea, and find the Promontory Cave is where you shall soon be. Okay, so it's a pretty helpful bard there. So west from the castle and follow the sea. Very good. I think I could go further around the back. For the grounds here. But before that, quick look at this bit. Wonder, have you familiarized yourself with the jail below the castle? There's a rather unusual inmate down there. A slime, as it happens. Goddess knows what they did to end up there. I've heard that the cave over on the This is a word... You know what? I'm trying to remember. There's a location in Final Fantasy called Promontory in Besaid, I think. But it's never voice acted, so I don't actually know how to pronounce that word. I've basically never heard it. Promontory leads to the Dreamer's Tower. How about that? Okay, that sounds good. I mean, I've never actually checked to see if it's true. But everyone says so. Yeah, already it seems very worth it to speak to NPCs. So I think that's the type of thing where I'm sure if I was asking for advice, people would be like, speak to all the NPCs! Like, they give you like lots of important information. Definitely can't argue with that right now. But it's something I definitely, again, like, once I started going back to pre-Final Fantasy VII, I started to train myself a lot more in speaking to NPCs. Like, if I hadn't played those earlier titles, I think there'd be a lot more times where I'd be like, they're probably going to say the same stuff, or I just would have ignored it and carried on. But definitely better at it now. Those stupid grown-ups won't let me go outside because they say it's too dangerous. So this is the kind of thing where, like, can you imagine trying to do this accent, like the lisp, like instantaneously? There's just no way. It would just sound too stupid. It just wouldn't work. Right. It's that smelly old Archfiend's fault, isn't it? Oh, I hate him. It's so boring being cooped up in here. I tried to sneak out the other day, but Daddy caught me. He's much more perceptive than he looks. Yeah, so that's a very tough one. I'm glad I committed to not trying to read every line with the with the like accent / tone. It would have been an absolute shit show. What you got? 9 gold coins, we'll take that. So barrels have them too. That's cool. Not gonna be like a... As always, it's not designed to be like a platinum, super, pick up every item, chest, equipment, everything possible playthrough. But I'll make a general effort, of course, to try and see what I can see. So it's been 3 for 3 so far. Every time there's been something to interact with, we've been rewarded. But I'm sure eventually as well there's going to be more duds. It was Ortega who inspired me to enlist as a castle guard, you know. And yet he went off to battle the enemy and never returned. I just can't believe he would let himself get killed so easily. He's out there somewhere. I just know he is. Yeah, I've definitely mentioned that before. I'm sure a lot of people would have thought the same thing. It does seem a little bit suspicious, those circumstances. So we've had barrels and we've had pots. I wanted to have a look at the boxes. It's a pot lid. Can that be used as a shield? Guess that takes me down into the jail, potentially. Don't know if I'm supposed to be exploring this much so far, but hey, the game lets me go there, I'm gonna do it. They told me to be curious. They said it might get me in trouble sometimes, but hey, that's why we're adventuring. Need to get into a little bit of trouble sometimes, otherwise not much of an adventure. This is the castle dungeon. If you're here to visit a prisoner, just go up to the bars of their cell and talk to them. But no funny business, understand? Let's see. You ain't got a key that'll open this door, have you? Well then, sling your hook. I ain't got no use for you. Ah, there's Kirk Buzzer. That wrinkly old geezer up that Dreamer Tower's a right piece of work. Not only did he go and get me banged up, he pinched me precious key and all. Me, the great Kirk Buzzer himself. Your trusty thief's key will open any red door in the world. If only I'd have used it to... what a plonker I am. The localization's pretty good as well. Like even like these NPCs, the way that they speak and like the slang they use and stuff, it gives them a lot of character. So that's pretty nice. Not sure I've heard the word plonker be used too much in these kind of games. What a plonker I've been. Okay, so I think at least now we know who's got the key as well. So we need to generally start to get our party together and head west. Very early impression so far. A solid. Definitely curious to see our party members as well, at least the early ones. I'm wondering, is it going to be one of those where we have, let's say, 4 characters and that's for the same entire thing, or they're going to come and go a little bit more? We're going to have like more of a big ensemble cast. Are there going to be optional characters that you can recruit or not? Lots to find out. Yes, okay, party planning place. It's your one-stop shop if you need to recruit. some adventurers to join your ranks or shake up your party. So there's part of the answer. Your journey is unlikely to be an easy one, so finding a team of trusty travelers at Patty's is a must. Of course, that begs the question, can you beat Dragon Quest III HD 2D with just the hero by himself? Probably yes. A vial of holy water would take that. So let's have a look around this place a little more. That reminds me, I should check in on that odd bloke I found in that well once. Some of my fellow guards mentioned they had been paying him visits from time to time, but I'd love to know what he's actually up to down there. On a nice sunny day like this, the whole idea of the Archfiend destroying the world just seems impossible, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm going everywhere but where I'm supposed to go, but it's my way of just getting to know the town and the game. Eliahan sits upon a body of land surrounded entirely by the sea. On the other side of that sea are land masses larger than we island dwellers could ever imagine. Ah, if only I could catch a glimpse of those distant shores just once before I die. Brave warrior, how may our church assist you? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. Divination, resurrection, purification, benediction. I'm sure we'll find out what those are later on, but for now I just needed the save, but that's good. Cool. I'm really liking the music of this town as well. Alright, not going to stray too far out though. You ever heard of Kirk Buzzer? Yep. A nuisance is what he is, and his behaviour sets a terrible example for the children. Not like you though, our paragon of truth and justice. Yeah, that's me. So this is the well that's been referenced. Have you seen that funny little island off to the west of town? No. Walk a little way west of town and you'll spot it soon enough. Wanda takes a look down the well. There we go. Yeah, I mean, look at this environment. The little lantern. Oh man, that's so cool. The lantern's got more of a sprite look, but the light it gives off is really nice. Yeah, this is working for me, man. This is cool. So, what is going on in here? Mini Meadow Manor. Welcome to Mini Meadow Manor. You may not look it, but the boss here is a very important man. Get into his good books, and you won't regret it. Is this like some kind of extra like hunting quest or something? Is that how you get into his good books? Heaven knows why, but when I met the boss here, I got this strange feeling that he was a king, and that I had to protect him. That's why I followed him down here, you see. It just feels like he's a kind of big shot the Archfiend or someone might want to bump off, you know? Let's see. Morgan Miniman. Mini, thanks for dropping by. I'm trying to max out my collection of mini medals. If you find any, bring them to me and I'll make it maximally worth your time. I see. So something going on with that. Obviously no idea how you collect mini medals at this point, but we'll find out. So I think I will start to head towards Patty's place now and see what our recruitment options are. Time was, Eliahan ruled over the whole world. But then came the wars, and we lost so many of our young men. They say it was the fighting which led them to close the teleportal to the mainland. Have you ever looked in a pot or barrel? So there you go. Honestly, my mum's always telling me to tidy up, meanwhile grown-ups are just chucking their things in pots and barrels. Lucky them, they've got me to clean up their mess at least. Smart kid. Alright. You can never have too many Chimera wings, if you ask me. Being able to fly to places you've been before in the blink of an eye is so magical. In fact, it probably is magic. So this is a fast travel place. Back in the dark old days, you used to bump your head on the ceiling if you tried to use one indoors. But now you don't have to worry about any of that. Modern comforts, eh? I wonder if this is a nod to like something that was a problem in the original and that they've kind of quote-unquote fixed in the remake. Like you could use this item inside back in the day. Greetings, if you're looking for items, you're in luck. Okay. So, not quite yet. Let's go here first. So again, all of this seems rather familiar. You've got the place to sleep. Welcome to our inn, rude traveller. Will you be staying the night, perhaps stopping for a short rest? Either way, it's 2 gold coins for a room. That's not bad. And these places tend to at least have a little something to loot or interact with. Okay. Yeah, I've kind of gone everywhere except where I'm supposed to go, but oh well. Let us pray for peace. Even if it brings us only one day closer to salvation, it will be worthwhile. Wayward sheep of the great shepherdess, how may we help you? Okay, so I need to look for these guys in general. There you go. I think this must be the place. Cool. Lots of individuals here, but let's just speak to Patty first.
Hey, you. Still can't believe this day's finally here. I remember when you popped out of your mother like it was yesterday, you know? Oh, and don't be thinking I'm ridiculously old or anything. I was just a kid back then. But it felt like I suddenly had a new sibling to look after. To think that was 16 whole years ago. At any rate, I'm sure you know by now, but Patty's Party Planning Place is your one-stop shop for all things adventuring. If you find yourself feeling lonely on the road, or simply want some muscle you can count on in a pinch, let me know. I'll find the perfect companions to suit your needs.
Interesting.
But gosh, you really are all grown up now, aren't you? May take me a while to get used to. At any rate.
Okay. He is 16 for the record, but then again, of course he is. If you want to find any new party members, this is the place to be. Same goes if you want to ditch them for that matter. So, how can I help you today? That's interesting. Alright. So, how do you... Personality acrobat, personality mule. So, I mean, my gut reaction is I want, like... I want the mages. So I'm going to have a healer. Priest must be the healer here. Okay, so they don't cost money. We've got another space. Okay, so we can just take all of them. That's cool. Alright, cool. Damn. They're already here. Be sure to equip your belongings instead of leaving them to languish in your bag. You can do this by going to the equipment section of the main menu. Alright. Damn, they're already here. They're just following me around. Cool. Wanda tries to open the treasure chest. However, it looks like it's locked. You can claim various bonus items from the chest if you pre-ordered the game or bought it from certain shops. That's lame. Yeah, usually the review codes tend to be like quote-unquote deluxe editions or whatever. They include some bonus DLC stuff, but not this time. I'm a pleb. I didn't get the good one. What's that? Need a key, do ya? Come to think of it, I once knew a bloke who had a knack for opening doors. Went by the name of Kirk Buzzer. Haven't seen him in a good while, mind you. Not since he headed off of that tower on the island west of here. So sometimes I can pull it off, but I can't do that for the entire game. And it's not like there's only one type. We literally met a princess with a lisp. Like, I think anyone who isn't some kind of pro voice actor trying to just on the fly instantly read a princess with a lisp voice. Like, that's, you ain't pulling that off, man. If you're looking to put together a solid party, you want a warrior, a priest, and a mage. If Patty over there doesn't have what you're looking for, head upstairs and get the recruitment people to find it for you. That's quite interesting. This guy looked kind of cool. I want to add him. Oh, bother. I left my bag hanging on the wall of my room at the inn. And it had all my gold coins and herbs in it. God, it's probably long gone. Well, nothing I can do about it. If someone has swiped it, I hope they put my things to good use at least. Can we like give it back to him for even more reward, maybe? You know, I found 50 gold coins on a bench the other day. Felt like the goddess herself had smiled on me. Ever since then, I make a point of checking my surroundings wherever I go. I never know when I'll strike it rich again, after all. And they drop in big hints there, but on a bench as well. So there's a lot of different places to potentially obtain them. Let's see what this guy is saying. Welcome to the Rainbow's End Bank. You can trust in us to keep your hard-earned money safe. Deposits and withdrawals are accepted in multiples of 100 gold coins. And of course, our service is entirely complimentary. That's interesting. Why? Obviously, the implication here is that you could lose gil on your adventures. Monster Wranglers are a special bunch, that's for sure. So basically, us reviewers, we get sent a very, very basic review guide that gives us a few like bullet points on like things that to look out for, things that are new and that kind of thing. I did have a very quick glance over it, and one of the things they mentioned was that apparently this whole Monster Wrangler thing, I believe it's new for the HD 2D remake, so if you know Dragon Quest 3 like the original, it wouldn't have had it. This is something new for the remake. They ain't especially strong, and they definitely ain't much in the magic department either, but they don't play by the rules. That's what makes them so useful. I happen to know a fair few adventurers out there that have benefited more than once from their healing abilities. Seed of Life. Yeah, let's go. This guy looks strong as well. Well, you've got your martial arts. They're as quick as you like. Then there's your thieves. Good for treasure hunting, obviously. Then, of course, there's merchants. They can appraise your items for you, which is pretty useful. Don't go anywhere near the gadabouts, though. Useless lot they are. Always mucking about in battles. Bunch of clowns, if you ask me. If you insist on having one along, leave it until you're strong enough to carry some serious dead weight. That's interesting. So the flexibility with which you can form parties is definitely something I'm quite interested in here. If you ask me, there's two kinds of adventure in this world. Those that include conjurers like mages and priests in their parties, and those that don't. The ones that don't tend to go all out and fill their party with warriors, martial artists, and even merchants, though occasions that focus on strength and stamina. Personally, I'd go for a more balanced lineup if I were you. And if you really don't want to include any magic users, why not take a monster wrangler or a thief along for the ride? Yeah, okay. Listen serves with pals, we're sure to build a winning team. We're here to help you get the hottest adventuring talent that off the dole and onto your roster. So maybe these ones we pay for? Let's just see what they do. What kind of person are you looking for? Oh. I think for now it's probably a bit too early days. We literally formed a party, and I think 4 is the maximum. That's interesting. So that's maybe even more flexible, like you really create your own squad a bit more so. But I think it's probably a good idea to just start with this one first and see where we go from there. When I was a young whippersnapper, I made a point of stopping by the shops whenever I visited a new town. I used to love perusing the merchants' wares. Now, an adventurer such as yourself will want to focus on the weapons and armor. If you're blessed in the strength department, get yourself a trusty weapon. Otherwise, concentrate on defensive gear. I've no idea who invented bags, but whoever did was a genius. Truly, how do we ever carry our possessions around without them? That said, they're not much use during battles. You won't have time to reach into yours for items if you're preoccupied showing a slime what's what. No, if there's something you think you will need in a fight, best to keep it on your companion's person. Okay, that's interesting. So can't equipment change in battle. But do we even like preload with items? Maybe. I'm definitely not going to end this first episode until I at least have a battle. Oh, if heroes are chosen by heaven itself, then sages are chosen by gods. Through trials most fearsome and bad for the health, they'll make it against all of the odds. Okay, let's move it along. So I think, of course, it does take a while before the first like battles kick in. They really want you to figure all this out and engage with it. Most towns are home to several shops. Some sell weapons and armor, some deal in items their wares vary, so be sure to stop by any you see. Yep, praying in a church or with nuns. Remember, fearless adventurers say frequently. Yeah, I know all about that. Oh, there you go. Dragon scale. Nice. Yeah, it is kind of weird to like have them all just running around with me, but I can't interact with them. So in that sense, I don't know if it's like you don't really form that like a bond with your party in that sense, because you can constantly change them up. So we'll see how that's going to go. If you want to meet the king, you'll have to go there during the day. Good to know. But definitely need to check out some shops. Basically, I want to see how much money I can find just by scrounging around. And then we can spend it in the shops. There you go. There's just so many that I think you end up missing a ton as well. But I want to check out that bag that the guy was talking about that he left at the inn. See if I can find it. A cozy looking fire burns merrily away. So, I don't think it was in this room. Let's go upstairs. Steal that guy's stuff. I am a paragon of truth, after all. Maybe I just give it back to him. Wait, is that it? Yeah. One takes a quick look in the bag, 12 gold coins. But he mentioned that there was like items in there too or something, right? 6 coins. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. This guy just having a little nap. Let's wake him up. I only wanted to see what's on the other side of the ocean. Ugh, ow, it hurts. Seems the fellow in the room opposite tried to make himself a wrecking ball and met with a little accident. I was just enjoying some peace and quiet when suddenly an almighty bang came from his room. Judging by how badly he's hurt, those things must be pretty dangerous. Look at that, it's a leather hat. Nice. Yeah, it's definitely been paying dividends to look around and try to interact with things. Yeah, I think there's only the 12 gold coins left. I swear he mentioned like a medicinal herb or something. Herbs. But I want to quickly go back and talk to him now, see if he says anything after doing that whole thing. And then we're going to hit the shops. So it might be a bit of a long premiere, part 1, but hey, the game in that sense is off to a pretty slow start, so I try to give you guys as much content as I can as this dude. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all my coins and herbs in it, but maybe someone was generous enough to just leave 12 in there. Right, quick look around at some of the rest of the town, and then we're going to hit the shop. I just don't know, I guess you can probably unequip these guys later and just like use their equipment for other people as well. I don't know how that side of things is going to work. So I don't know if I should just prioritize the main protagonist's equipment and kind of just leave everybody else to some extent, but let's see. Wait. There you go. More herbs. I wish there was like an auto thing for this. Honestly, like you go near it, it automatically just interacts. Welcome back, my darling. Oh, I came home. I kind of forgot about it. Did you see the king? And were you nice and polite like you promised? Yes. Thank goodness for that. I was petrified you'd trip over or say the wrong thing, or... Well, it doesn't matter now. You have the king's permission to go off adventuring. You're officially a grown-up. Anyway, you must be ever so tired after all that excitement. Off to bed with you, sweetums. Okay. Can my friends... Morning, darling. Go on now. Off you go and do some adventuring. I am almost ready to do that, but I just need a little more looting. Just talk to Grandpa first before we leave. Ortega was real hero material, you know. Your father was something special. And his father before him. Heh. You've a lot to live up to, Wonder. Don't let your grandfather down. Yeah, no pressure. At least give us a nice item or some shit, man. Well, there's the 50 coins, so I'm happy about that. But, like, surely the granddad, with his grandson going on his first big adventure, he should be like, well, you know, here's something that was very useful to me in my youth, in my adventuring days. But I guess we stole his money, so it's good enough. Right. So, we have this guy. Hello, hello, hello. I'm your local guardsman on the beat, here to keep the streets free of trouble. You may set off on your quest safe in the knowledge that your hometown is in good hands. Thank you, sir. Right, so now we can go here. I think I've generally looted around a fair bit. You're Ortega's son, aren't you? The hero? Your father was a great man. A truly great man. Now, for all of that... Actually, they did mention benches. Are there any benches? Yeah, I don't think I've seen any benches. So, first off, let's have a look at equipment. We actually have some headgear now, so my defense goes up. That's cool. And this. So my defense goes up. I'll take that. So he's got all of these. That's already equipped. So I guess obviously he already has the best stuff. Okay. So this is better than what he currently has? This is already equipped by someone else. Yeah, an attacker she is not. But I guess that helps her. I might start to auto this at some point. But for now at least, to get a better handle on just how things are going with this. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. If you're after weapons armor, you come to the right place. Right. Just wondering if it's worth getting an open club for Nelson. I feel like Nelson's a bit, like, underpowered here out of the rest of them. Let's auto-equip him, see what happens. Yeah, okay. So. I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to try to save up my money a little. I assume especially in the, like early on you don't need like crazy good equipment, so I'm not going to spend any money on any of it for now. I did manage to loot some stuff as well, so I think it should be okay. But this guy I want to have a look at. Yeah, these are definitely a bit cheaper. Restores at least 30 HP. I've got 9 of them already. They only cost 8. Just gonna get that. So have a nice round 15. I love that. Does that seem fair to you? Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, we don't have any of this. And, oh, okay. The fast travel thing. Let's buy some antidotes. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know who's going to carry it. Like, the whole... Like, can I just put it in the item bag for now? There's always room in your item bag. Okay, yeah. So I'm good for now. I think we should be fine. Let me see. I think that's all for now. There's the well. I think I've been to all of these places now. I should have been. So it does have a nice quick map of the town. It's the first time I've used it, but it's there. So this place we haven't been in, I think. Alright. I think we're good to go. I'm sure we're going to be back here anyway, so I want to at least try and make a start. See how we fare. So I'm going to save here. Alright, I think we are finally ready to head out there. An adventure. Making sense of maps. If you feel a bit lost, press square to look at your map. It will show your current location and give you a good idea of your surroundings too. Adventure underway. So it took a little while, but the adventure is underway. So yeah, this is the overworld map style. That's cool. Let's head towards this treasure first. Nice. Whoa. Now, we have an island and we have a bridge to the west. Well, we obviously don't have any kind of ship or boat, so we can't just like sail across. What I also need to do is check who has what equipped here. So they all have 2 medicinal herbs, but I should give people like antidotes, right? But this will be a little bit of menu work, but I think this is what I'm supposed to do, like, because I can't use those things in the item bag in battle. So that's something I'm not used to, but I'm going to try to remember that that's the case. I think that's an easy thing to forget, just leave stuff in your item bag and then never use it. But for me, it's like, do we get this stuff back, or do we kind of end up losing it? But what I'm going to do also, I'm going to give a Seed of Strength to Wonder. I mean, why would I not? Oh, nice, a double increase. And I'm going to give him permanent increase maximum HP. Ooh, I thought this was like their version of a Phoenix Down. Seed of Stamina. So, first of all, Wonder's going to get everything. He's the only constant that I can count on. Wards off weaker enemies. Yeah, we'll leave it like this for now. Obtain the Thief's Key. Let's go. Random encounters, are they a thing? Are we going to randomly just have a bit of a scene transition here? There you go. First encounter. Group of Stark Ravens. Battle speed, normal. Let's have a listen. Nice, I like it. It's a good battle theme. Okay. Tactics. Follow orders. Fight wisely. So we're going to change to this. Everyone's going to... I'm more used to this. I prefer to just have control over what's going on. Let's fight. Let's just do a standard attack first, see what we're working with. Dorothy attacks. Okay. 4 points. That's quite a lot. But I can't target who I'm... Nikolai takes 1 point. Wow. Yeah, so the priests are not hitting here. Oof. So one of them's gone. That's interesting. Hide UI. Fair enough. Might be good for thumbnails or bosses later on. Right. So Wanda should carry on attacking here. But not being able to select who, like which enemy attacks is strange. I'm not used to that. So, spells, heal, MP 3 of 21. Okay. So we'll give Dorothy a heal here. Dorothy's in critical. But she has Frizz. Singes and single enemy with a small fireball. So now we'll play properly and use what they're supposed to use. Abilities. Cop out. Deflects enemy attacks onto an enemy or an ally. Not sure about that. We have such low HP that probably not a good idea. Frizz. Let's see the damage. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's better. So Dorothy is safe. But yeah, Nelson's not doing much of anything right now. Nice. So I think I will speed up the battle speed eventually. I feel like, obviously very early days now. I won't do it now, but... attack. I'm going to have my mages defend here. But for this guy... I feel like we need something better. So we can... Oh, wait. Items. Yeah, so it's the ones in the bag you can't access. So for now, at least, I need to find something better for him. Oh, come on. Dodges nimbly. Is there a way to repeat? Like, is there like cursor memory here? No. I need to check my options. Maybe there is. Alright. There we go. It's our first battle. The enemy are defeated. Each party member receives 8 experience and 8 gold coins. Superb. Now, the only thing I'm a bit worried about is that Nelson is weak AF. Is it worth getting him a better weapon? Not sure. Nelson's strength is only 11. And his is 17. Yeah, I think he's just not the strongest guy. So we'll see. Maybe we'll find something better. Let's push on. Dazzle me not. Seed of strength. Wow. Already? 2 seeds of strength? What the hell? I don't care. Let's go Wanda. So there's a little sign here. Reeve and the passage. So we're trying to head towards here for now. And is there like a... Can you save in the overworld? I'm not sure you can. Open club, hot lid, coins. Let's try fast for the next one. Since it's turn-based anyway, I don't see why it matters. Alright. Keep going for now. See how we do in our next battle. Okay, already we've had 3 different enemies in 2 battles. That's cool. So the battle speed is now fast. Let's see how we go. Okay, so now I can choose. You can choose what enemy type to attack, but not... Okay. Let's go for that one. Just try attacking the slime. I would assume the slime might be a bit more resilient to stuff. She only has 1 spell though. I think this guy for now, he can just defend. And Nelson. He only has 5 MP as well, it kind of feels not worth it. So let's see this faster speed here. Defeated. Oh, only 7. Okay. Yeah, tough defense. Yeah, I think fast speed works out better for me. Let's take out those guys if we can. And we'll see if that helps us take out the nibbler. Just generally resilient, it seems. Defending, huh? Alright, this time we're just gonna try and finish it off without using any more MP. There it is. So yeah, battle definitely sped up a bit and was a bit more smooth there. That was nice. Oh, okay. Nikolai, the first one. Yeah, we'll take that. 2 strength points. Cool. Poof! And Dorothy too. Excellent. Yeah, all of that looks good to me. And buff. Yeah, Nelson really needed it. Up to 13 strength now. Okay. So interestingly, Wonder's still at level 1. Getting a bit dark. And there's our cave entrance. And there's our next encounter, a group of slimes. Okay. That ain't good. Yeah, he doesn't know much yet. He doesn't have a choice. Spells. Wait. Can make a group of enemies disappear. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to try that. And I think you get all of your MP back when you level up. Yeah. That's interesting. Alright, let's see how this works. Only hits 1 of them. 1 damage, that's fine. Oh, nice. Okay, that's a cool move. And there you go. Okay. Well, the level up definitely helped. Only 3 experience points, though. Clearly, they must be like the easiest ones of the bunch. Here we go. Welcome to our first dungeon. Promontory Passage. Now, I think this is the game gives you an autosave here, right? Let me just double check this. I think this is a good place to... Yeah, it does. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is a good place to end this first premiere episode of Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Obviously, a lot of dialogue, a lot of things to learn, exploring the town, talking to NPCs, trying to understand the equipment, the items, all of that kind of stuff, recruiting a party. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed what you've seen so far. For me, it's definitely a solid start. I'm curious to see how things are going to expand out in terms of the story, in terms of this whole party member situation, like swapping them in and out. What's that going to be like? How are the boss battles going to be? A lot more to find out and discover. But in general, I think the art style, the music, the premise, and obviously that's still the nostalgic feeling that it has for the old school JRPG experience so far, I think has been really cool, and I'm looking forward to experiencing more of Dragon Quest in the coming weeks. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and we'll continue to check out more of the series. Maybe if you're still a little bit undecided about whether you think this is a game for you, watch a few more episodes, see how things evolve, and we will find out if it's going to entice more people like me who are lifelong Final Fantasy fans who have never tried Dragon Quest to give it a go and become fans of a new franchise. So I'll see you soon. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, please, especially for this first part, remember to drop a like. It really helps the first parts of series like this, especially for this game, because I am blessed to have quite a large Final Fantasy audience. There is a chance that when I upload this, there'll be some people who aren't interested in Final Fantasy but want to watch their Dragon Quest that might have arrived here for the first time. If it's your first Dan's Great video and you have enjoyed this video, thank you so much. There'll be plenty more to come, and there is plenty more to watch on the channel, beyond also just Final Fantasy. But welcome, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. We have a lot of community stuff happening, like our 24/7 Final Fantasy stream. We do lots of premieres and that kind of thing, live streams. So hopefully you will enjoy yourselves here and watch some of the 5,000 videos I've made over the years and become a regular around here. So thank you all for watching. I will see you soon for more. Upload schedule will be basically, I think, Monday to Thursdays. One episode a day between like half an hour, like 28 to 35 minutes tends to be the average. And so there's plenty of time if you're playing along too, and you don't want me to kind of get too far ahead. It'll be done at a nice pace for people to enjoy. It won't take over all of your time to watch this content. And if you get too impatient, if you're like, I must know what's going to happen with this game, I need to like watch the entire thing in like 2 weeks, then you'll need to find someone else to take you through at that kind of pace. But on this channel, we're going to take things nice and slow. Enjoy the experience. There's lots of other things ongoing as well, and I'll be uploading Dragon Quest III alongside all of that material. So thank you all for watching. I will see you soon. Take care.